Postcard and hand stitching, going outside of my comfort zone and embracing the lace. December 5th, journaling card and tiny letters. Hi everyone, Patty here, and ready to show you my version of the prompts. First we'll start with postcard and hand stitching. These will work great to repurpose the lace by removing the lace from the safety pin, and you have swatches to use for clusters, page tabs, and ephemera embellishments. I'm going to talk you through this process because most of it is so simple, but the outcome is perfect for our journals. I have digital postcards in different sizes that I've printed out onto cardstock. The size of your postcard will determine how much lace you will need for the project. I didn't want my lace to extend down past the size of the postcard by much or at all. So find your postcard, different scraps of lace, a button, needle, thread, and safety pins, and let's get started. First, you want to have a large safety pin and fold the lace over the bottom of the safety pin. The first piece of lace will be your largest piece of lace. It doesn't have to fold in half over the safety pin, but it needs to fold enough over the safety pin that you can stitch down the lace to attach the safety pin. Your next piece can be stitched directly to the first piece of lace, so your scrap pieces can be smaller in size. Keep layering 3 to 4 different styles of lace to give you some texture and variation in color hues. I'm going very neutral and all of my laces are cream to white. When layering, have some pieces layer with an overlap so you can see the different pieces you have added. You want this to be removable so you don't need a lot of stitching to hold these pieces together. A few stitches at the top and a button at the bottom will keep the piece together. You will stitch your safety pin directly to the postcard. Pick your direction you want your cluster of lace to go and stitch the safety pin with 4 to 5 stitches to the postcard. I call this a whip stitch, but in sewing terms I think it is called an overcast stitch. We will cover this up so no one will see the back with your stitching. I used a white or cream-colored embroidery thread to stitch my safety pin to the postcard. Add a button, pearl beads, or whatever you want to embellish your piece. I put this closer to the bottom of the cluster to balance out my piece. Once you get all of your embellishments attached, you are ready to add a backing to your postcard. The only stitching you should see through is holding down the safety pin. All other embellishments should be attached to the lace so it is removable from the postcard. Cut your backing to be the same size as your postcard and glue this to your postcard. Now you can use this as a journaling card. Easy and very functional for our journal embellishments. Next, we're ready to start day 5 and work on our journaling card and tiny letters. I created a text piece using Word on my computer and Copilot. I'm trying to embrace AI and asked it to create a page of words for me with a botanical theme. It did about 10 words, so I re-asked Copilot to fill the page with no commas, just random spacing and different fonts. It could not compute the random fonts, but I did finally get a page of botanical words. But I wanted a couple phrases added, so I had to add those manually, and I also changed the fonts manually to get a random page of flowers, herbs, and phrases. I have a stamp that would work for this, but it is in storage, and I don't have stamps like Louisa used. I printed this out on photomat cardstock, hoping to achieve some of the different color differences like Louisa got in her making of a journal card. But again, I don't have the stamp she used. I don't have the colors of spray inks. So here we go, just like Louisa did, but completely different. I started by spritzing Distress Oxide Spray and mustard seed. Oh, that is yellow. Added a few spritz of water to get the oxide to work. Not much color changing going on with the mustard seed. Next, I have Distress Oxide Spray and Forest Moss. I shake the bottle till I can hear the little metal ball inside to make sure it is mixed well, and spritz a few times onto my page. I have the Distress Spritz and Walnut Stain and Hickory Smoke, so I use those to try and tone down that mustard seed. Should have quit there, but didn't. My text is not going into the background like I would have liked. Added more spritzes of water and tried to move the color around a bit. Still not working. More water spritzes. More walnut stain spritz. Well, I tried to dry this and see what we get. Looks like a hot mess. But I don't have any other colors, and I can't say the spritzes do what I want. Yes, they add a nice sparkle. Should have added more forest moss, but I'm determined to make something with this, so I cut these into 4 pieces. I did cut off some of the margins, so the journaling cards are approximately 4 inches by 5 inches in size. I have these large metal letters that I was thinking I would use. Not sure how yet. Do I want a D for Dephemerember? What would that do for the journal I want to put this into? Nothing. I like these metal letters, but just not sure how to incorporate them. I pull out one of my embossed painted cardstocks that I showed in the last video. This is Sizzix 3D Typewriter Texture Fades Embossing Folder number 664760. When using this embossing 3D folder, it is important to spritz your cardstock with water as it will cut right through the cardstock. I ripped a section of this to add down the side of the journaling card. I ripped the cardstock towards me so I would see the color of the cardstock underneath. Ripped it the length of the journaling card and start thinking about what to layer with this. It needs to be a straight edge, not a ripped edge on the bottom, as it will sit flush on the side of the journaling card, which has a straight edge. I just got a new seed catalog from Baker Creek. The pictures are outstanding, and I saw a few pictures of marigolds that might look good with this piece. I flipped through the magazine and almost went with the zinnias, but they might be too large in portion to the journaling card. Louisa did give us a freebie of flowers that I could fussy cut and use, the choices. Some flowers way too big. I found the marigolds and fussy cut out 4 or 5 of them and layer between my embossed painted cardstock that goes down the side of my journaling card. Ink the edges. They are printed on very lightweight magazine paper and maybe should be backed with some heavier weight paper, but I forged on with my idea. I glued these pieces to the one side of the journaling card, only gluing the embossed typewriter piece on 3 sides so I could tuck the marigolds under the piece and over the piece, layering them along the side. Now to figure out a pleasing way to layer the marigolds. The letter M would work, as this is a bright yellow page of marigolds. The black typewritten letters down the side help balance all of that yellow. Now to glue this down. I do have some larger font vintage book pages I could use. I do have to be careful with this book as it has cuss words on every page. I noticed on the floating pockets I made using Barbara's at 49 Dragonflies version that now I have the word vodka front and center. That's all I see. I will definitely be adding some more embellishments to those pages to cover up some of that text. I got the larger font because of the text at my local library. When they have book sales and the books go on for sale for nothing, but I didn't even look to see what the story was, just the font, and thought, oh, that would be great. Maybe not. A little cheesecloth is always a good layer, so maybe some of that. After I get some of my ideas, I remove the piece and start layering. I had to rip the black typewritten embossed piece off as I wanted to tuck more pieces underneath. I will glue it back into place so you won't see where I ripped the journaling card. I'm thinking, oh no, like Barbara would say. I decided to make it a tuck spot, so I added a piece of wax paper under my pieces that I'm layering so it doesn't stick to the journaling card. I glued some marigolds onto the background and some to the front of the black typewritten embossed piece down the side. Yes, I like the way that looks. I looked to see if the word marigold was on my typed-up page, but didn't see it. Maybe I can add it to my page of words and try this idea again with some other flowers from my seed catalog. Here's how the pieces look in my journal. Have a great day, and I can't wait to show you what I made for day 8. Bye now.